Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim Wilmot from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation to show you the capabilities of Workbooks CRM, what areas of your business it can focus on, and how my company, Wizard Systems, can help you with your CRM project there. Now, we run these short presentations every Friday, focusing on different aspects of Workbooks and CRM. And today we're going to look more closely at reporting in workbooks. How can you make sense of all the information you're gathering and help you make decisions and manage your business, your organization more effectively through reporting? This presentation will be approximately 30 minutes or so in duration. It's just a basic session. Everyone uses CRM in different ways. Everyone's got different requirements, and I wouldn't have enough time this morning to go over all of the extensive capabilities of Workbooks. It's a truly great product. It does cover a lot of areas and goes beyond traditional CRM. So after this session, if you want to explore Workbooks in a bit more detail, we'd love to organize, if we haven't done so already, more of a one-to-one session with you to discuss your specific needs. Now, on the call today, and there's 12 people on the call this morning. I know there's some people that are already trialing Workbooks. There's a free 30-day trial of Workbooks, so you can put it through its paces and make sure it's a good fit for your business. Excuse me if I'm going over some old ground for people, but I need to go at the speed of the slowest, so to speak. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only, as you'd have gathered when you entered the call. Your microphone is on mute. Now, if you've got any questions, please, as you think of them, type them into the questions section on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end of the session in about half an hour's time or so. Now, also, this presentation is being recorded. Afterwards, you should receive an email within an hour or two from our system with a link to the recording that you can obviously look back on at your leisure, and we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started. Just a brief mention, first of all, about my company, Wizard Systems. All we do is CRM. We've done this a long time. We've implemented well over 3,000 separate systems all over the UK and further afield as well, into all sorts of different types of businesses, from sole traders right up to some implementations of many hundreds of users, and in different types of organizations as well, B2C, B2B, public sector, non-profit, charity organizations. We have representation in all different market sectors. Now, with Workbooks, it's a cloud system, so there's nothing to install. You can be up running very, very quickly. And we've got customers that do their own thing with Workbooks. They learn how to use it themselves. They set their own system up. There's lots of resources to assist you, but be realistic. If you need any help in any step of the way in customizing it to your requirements, migrating data from an old system into this system, training, we can train you at your place. You can come to our location. We're based just north of Bristol in the UK, or we can do training online. We regularly do lots of training online where people, of course, don't need to travel. We can make it very interactive as well. And finally, all the ongoing support. You're not in this on your own. We're in it together. We want to make sure you get the most out of Workbooks, your investment, and get some return. Now, as regards return, what we're looking to achieve in discussing your CRM requirements with you is trying to find out what is it you really want to achieve with Workbooks. Are you replacing an old system? Are you a startup business and you recognize you need something to help manage the young business going forward, to help you develop business? Are you looking to streamline your sales processes, do better marketing, track service, customer service in a better way, manage your quotes, your quote process in a more efficient way, or do better management reporting, which is what we're all about today. So maybe one or a combination of those, and it really will help us guide us on this journey to make sure that you get a lot out of your investment, so that Sometimes it is possible when you implement a new system and you can think of some kind of tangible figures or costs or savings, then it does enable you to do a little bit of an ROI, a return on investment on your small workbooks investment to see exactly, 3 months later, 6 months later, what did we achieve? Have we got more sales? Have we reduced our costs of attaining new customers or whatever it might be? So what is Workbooks? Well, simply one central system to easily access all of your key contact information and sharing that with your colleagues and your interactions with your customers as well. There's some marketing tools in there to help you be more proactive with your clients. Unusually for a CRM system, it will enable you to create sales quotes and manage an order process, so creating sales orders and invoices and purchase orders to suppliers. It can also do customer service as well. Do you have technicians? Do you have a help desk there? Do you need to give advice to people? You need to track that in a structured way. Workbooks could assist you there. And as well as it being a personal productivity tool, it's a great management tool as well. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, how we can use it to help you make decisions, control the organization, see what's going on there, as well as it being a great productivity tool to your colleagues. Now, Workbooks is a UK system. All the data, we're often asked, where is my information? Well, it's all securely held in the UK, and a level of security, to be honest with you, that most small businesses could not afford on their own. Very, very secure. And it's very reliable. Last year, we had an uptime of 100%. It's always going to be there whenever you want it, on whatever device. We can work with any device, any browser, always there when you need it. And it's been around a long time. And if some of you I know have come to us via some independent review sites out there on the web, and you'll see that Workbooks always scores very highly in ease of use and user satisfaction, and that's what it's all about. We've got to make sure we've got a system that we're happy to use, that all of our colleagues are using and committed to using it. So just homing in, before I dive into the live demo, just homing in now on a few key aspects of the Workbooks CRM solution. Of course, at the heart of it is the information about your leads, your prospects, your customers, your suppliers, all the people that you do business with, that you partner with. They're all companies and contacts in the system. It's very customizable. Shortly, when I show you the system, you'll just see an example of what Workbooks looks like. It's intended that you change it. You're in control. You don't need to be a database guru or programmer. It's very easy for you to change the screens and fields and remove fields and take fields away. You can also deploy different security levels. Now, this doesn't often feature when we deploy a CRM system, because CRM is all about sharing information and making it open and working better as a team. But we do recognize that some organizations have sales teams or different divisions. They do need to hide information from certain people. So you can do that as well with Workbooks if you want to. Secondly, you're managing all of your daily activities in the system. It's controlling your working day. It's your corporate memory. It reminds you of things you've got to do. So we can track your calls, your meetings, your tasks. We also have some very nice integration with Outlook and Exchange. So anyone using that, we can share your calendar and tasks and contacts in a bi-directional way with those applications. You only type it in once. Everything's in there. We support alarms as well, pop-up alarms, so nothing slips through the net, nothing gets forgotten about. And thereby, as you're recording these activities, you're building up over time a wonderful history of everything that's gone on with that client. And most of that you'll never want to look back on, but it's just that 10% that could be vitally important in a customer service situation when you recorded an important phone call conversation or important email is recorded in the history of the client that you can go back on to support yourself in a customer service situation. Now, we can integrate with any email system. We, as I've said already, we've got some very nice integration with Outlook and Exchange. And we do focus on this on one of our other weekly presentations, the Outlook integration, or you'll see previous recordings up on our YouTube channel. But a nice, easy link with Outlook if you're using that. But we can interface with Gmail, Yahoo, whatever other email system it is you're using there, Apple. So as you send and receive your emails, they're being copied into the workbook system, so we can see against the client's record all the emails that you've sent and all the emails your colleagues have sent. Again, you're working more effectively as a team, sharing all of that vital communications activity. And if in your business a lot of your communication is done by email, this is vitally important to link email with CRM. As I've mentioned already, whatever device you've got, we've got a mobile app. We're shortly going to be launching a tablet app as well. This will all be in your subscription, nothing extra to pay. With some other CRM solutions out there, you do have to pay extra depending on what sort of device you've got. Not the case with Workbooks, all included, great value for money. So marketing, a lot of people are using email as a marketing tool. Well, we link email marketing, the process of email marketing, with Workbooks. So truly integrated approach to marketing. But before you do any marketing, where is your data? Where are your potential clients? When you buy in databases, when you have existing information in Excel spreadsheets, or you go to a show and you acquire a list of visitors to that show, well, they can be easily uploaded into Workbooks. And again, we do cover this in one of our weekly slots. And of course, you can export any of the data as well. Another way of customers coming into you, potential customers coming to you, is via the web. So you can, because Workbooks is online, you can create a very simple form. There's a built-in feature to create web forms, which you can pop up on your website, and as people fill in their details, that automatically becomes a lead record in Workbooks, and it will inform you. There's a little bit of workflow and automation there to inform you you've got a new lead. So no more excuses going forwards. Every lead is captured from your website. Every lead you're going to be working on, because it's not going to be a case of copying and pasting from an email or someone forgetting to call a client back from a new registration. It's all built in. Plus, we can create customer portals, so a richer website, a way of a customer logging on and seeing their own information and logging calls and seeing what orders they've got and so on. It's possible, or registering for events, as we're talking about marketing, registering for events. If you do any events there, whether they're online or offline, again, a great way of managing all of that in one easy to use application. So as you're doing marketing, you can create your easy lists. Now, we integrate as standard with three very popular systems: MailChimp, Constant Contact, and .mailer. So you create your list in Workbooks, the people that are going to receive this newsletter, that are going to receive this promotion. That list is automatically uploaded to, say, MailChimp. No complicated exporting of data, importing of data. It's so easy for you to do. And MailChimp, something like MailChimp, will design a nice looking email, will deliver the email, and then importantly, with the integration coming back into Workbooks, we can see against a client what emails they were sent, what did they open, what did they click on, observing hard bounce information, so the email address doesn't exist, so actually preventing us mailing again to email addresses that do not exist. We don't want to draw our attention to the anti-spam brigade, and also, of course, the all-important unsubscribe or opting out, whether that's a soft opt-out or hard opt-out. We can manage that, see that, make it visible in the Workbook system. So a great marketing tool in combination with, say, something like MailChimp. Also, my company, we're a training center for MailChimp and Constant Contact. So if you want any assistance on email marketing campaigns, creating templates, options on generating these campaigns, we can cover that for you as well. So a CRM system is all about managing processes and and monitoring those processes, which is what we're going to be talking about with reporting. Now, unusually for a CRM system, not many other CRM systems can do this, but we can create quotes. And also there's an option for creating orders and invoices. Now, there's 2 editions of workbooks that you can sign up for. There are 2 paid editions. One's called CRM and the other one's called Business. CRM will do all of the CRM things that you'd expect, everything I've mentioned so far, and the ability to create nice looking quotes, nice looking professional quotes all tracked in the system. And then Business Edition will do everything that CRM does, plus the ability to create orders, a sales order, an invoice, a credit note, multiple purchase orders to suppliers, and recording customer payments. So it is the basics of a financial system. It wouldn't be a replacement for, say, something like Sage 50 or Xero or QuickBooks that we can integrate with. But nonetheless, if your order processing requirements are quite straightforward, you could do all of that in Workbooks. So truly we're tracking the complete sale there, a complete business process there in Workbooks. Now you can store your price and product list in there. You can import that from suppliers. You can create umpteen different quote layouts. These layouts are created in a PDF layout, and you can email these quotes directly from Workbooks with a couple of clicks of the mouse, all tracked in the system, and fully integrated with the opportunity management part of Workbooks. So we are, as I said already, we are tracking the complete business process from when you get your leads, qualification, negotiation, doing quotes, getting the orders from the client, purchase orders to suppliers, delivering, fulfilling the product or service, invoicing the client, then more campaigns in, so the story continues around and around and around. So Workbooks can track that complete business process. Not many CRM systems out there can do that, and they rely on linking to something else with a bit of string that might break. And then, of course, the options for creating orders or invoices with the Business Edition is available to you. Now, all editions will track customer service, so a great way of tracking service issues. Another dimension to the CRM system, another screen, very customizable. You can apply deadlines and SLAs, service level agreements. For example, in your business, if you're recording support, do you stipulate some kind of guaranteed response time to queries, say 2 hours? You know, you've got to respond within a query with a query within 2 hours. Well, that could be a rule within Workbooks, and it will monitor itself and give you little warning messages or color indications on screens as regards whether you're about to breach that SLA situation, thereby improving your customer service levels. And of course, using this, as always, we're building up a history of everything we've done from a customer service point of view, and the products they relate to as well. And you're building up, also in a way, you're building up a knowledge base to help you go further forwards. Now, last slide before we dive into the demo proper, just show you around the interface, and we'll actually show you a brief example of reporting. So putting your manager's hat on now, a great tool to see what's going on, what activity levels are like, how many leads are coming in, what's happened to those leads, who's dealing with them, did they turn into a sale, were they rubbish? This Workbooks can give you answers to these questions to track these activity levels and see how much business is coming in, with the opportunity tracking as well, tracking outstanding quotes, outstanding opportunities. Now, there's a couple of tools in here to help you make sense of all this. There's the reporting tool that we'll cover this morning, and you can actually produce some quite nice looking reports with pretty colors and charts as well, plus the ability to create dashboards. So more dashboards are more to summarize something, some key performance indicators. So what's the lead situation right now? How many leads are we working on right now? And again, we can show this to you in one of our other weekly slots. So let me now take you into Workbooks proper. And as I say, two objectives here this morning. Show you the interface, what does it look like, show you how to get started with Workbooks, and just a little mention about reporting as well. So this is Workbooks. I've just logged in with my email address and my password. It's all very secure. It will work in any browser. I'm showing it to you this morning in Chrome. Now, what we see first of all is instantly recognizable to you. It looks like your Windows desktop with that start button, if you see there, down in the bottom left-hand corner. It's got that immediate familiar look and feel. It's so easy to use and navigate your way around and learn how to use it. Just to the right of the start button, we've got a Google-like search box. You can type in someone's name there, a word or phrase. It will find it for you wherever it exists in the system. But from that start button and the start menu there, we've got access to all of the key elements of a proper CRM solution, with right at the top there, of course, the basic building block of a CRM system, the trio there of people, companies and organizations, and activities. That's always going to be the key thing a CRM system's got to do for you, tracking all of those. Your emails, emails that have come over from something else. Your support issues. If you're in sales, you're going to live in this section. So what sales leads have you got on the go at the moment? What opportunities are on the go? What outstanding quotes, orders? What's your sales forecast for you and your team? If you're a marketing person, then you'll be living here as regards managing marketing campaigns, managing mailing lists. Again, sales leads, of course, that's relevant to a marketing person. And managing your product portfolio and information about them and marketing collateral. If you've got the business edition, then this is where you can see at a glance all of your client transactions, your quotes, orders, invoices, and we also have, again, not many CRM systems can do this, we have a contracts module. So in your business, do you have customer contracts you need to track as regards what they are and when they renew and so on? That could be tracked also in Workbooks. But if I quickly dive into organizations here, just quickly show you the interface. So this is an organization's landing page, just like an Excel spreadsheet, showing me row by row here, summarizing all of the companies, all of the organizations in my system. You can decide what columns you see. There's a little filter button here if you want to drill down and see companies that match some criteria, companies in a certain market sector, for example. You can easily create those separate lists there or views. Now, if I dive into a particular organization in a bit more detail, so this is now a record of a company. Another window has popped up here with some tabs running across the top there. Initially, we're on the main tab, the key information about your customer. And all of this pretty much can be changed by you. This is just an example of what Workbooks gives you. But you can relabel these fields. You can create new fields. You can also create different layouts for different people as well. Do you see this view button here? This is where you can actually create. So this company, you can see it in different formats. So maybe you're in sales, you're a salesperson. On one page, you want to see all the information about this client and sales history. Well, there it is there. This is the holy grail of a CRM system, to present to the user on one screen all the information that's relevant to their job role. So the salesperson, when they're phoning this customer, they want to know, well, what have we sold to this client? What's outstanding? What products have we sold? So just an idea there of presenting to the user these different views there. And then as we go across those tabs at the top, we've got some general notes and some files that relate to that client, activities that we've done or are about to do with this customer, things that are in red or overdue. We can schedule new activities here, emails backwards and forwards to this customer, all visible there together with the attachments. Who do we know that works in this company? Well, there could be multiple people, so they're all described there and what's their role, and we can click on them and dive into their record in a bit more detail. What opportunities are on the go right now with this client? Again, a very customizable screen. We're just summarizing here on these different tabs. We can click on any of these rows and dive in and see more information. It pops up another window for you. Transactions are obviously financial transactions with this client, so quotes, potential bits of business, orders, invoices, credit notes, contracts as well. They're all described here, and obviously you can create new ones from there. If you're in support, well, what support issues have we got on the go right now? There they all are there, and who's handling them, and what's the nature of the issue and priority and so on. And then there's another example here, marketing campaign. So what marketing activities have been on the go around this particular customer. So those tabs, you can have more tabs or less tabs, but it's just to give you a flavor of what the interface looks like there. So I'm just going to close down all my little windows on my desktop. So that's just an idea of what the interface looks like. Now, reporting. How do you create reports? Well, there are approximately 50 or so reports to get you going, and you can see them in the reporting menu here. This is where you can see all of the existing reports, and they're stored in different sections. So these are obviously activity reports, reports here around support cases, support issues, and I've got 6 pages of reports here that were previously created. There they all are. Now, to create a new report, you of course can create new reports based on any information in Workbooks. So what I'd like to take as an example is a pretty typical sales forecasting report where we want to group our report, our sales figures, by, say, salesperson. Imagine we've got a number of salespeople selling, and we want to summarize what level of business each person is going to potentially bring in. So very quickly, I will be glossing over quite a few options here, but very simply I click on this new report button here. I'm presented with 4 initial choices, so I can create it from a template, I can copy an existing report. Maybe what I want to do is pretty close to this one. I could, if I'm brave, I could create a blank report, but I'm going to, for the purpose of this presentation, I'm going to create a pre-populated report which will create all the standard typical bits of information that you might want in a particular type of report. So there we go. Pre-populated report. Now these are in alphabetical order here, these are all of the typical things that you might report on, and we're going to be looking at down here, do you see opportunities? So I select opportunities. Straight away this is creating a report for me, and I'm prompted for a report name. Do you see my cursors flashing up there? So sales report by rep, for example, and I can now click on details, and this will show me very quickly. Do you see here in the lower half of the screen, this is the sample report that's already been created with these columns that you see here: reference, the name of the deal, who's the name of the salesperson, that's the name of our colleague, and customer name, and what's the currency. If I just slide over here, you can see some of the other standard fields that have been brought in, all the typical suspects here for a sales forecast report. Close date. Because Workbooks is a little bit of a financial application, you can actually implement your financial periods as well, so you've got specific periods. Type of business, this often features in opportunity tracking. People want to know these deals that are coming in, well, what is it, new business, or have we got a bit of extension from an existing client? Now, that can be something quite critical to look at. What's the stage of negotiations as well? You don't need this, but some companies, when they're looking at their opportunities, they want to think about what stage are we at. Top right corner here, we've got also just confirmation of the fields within this particular report, and a little sort of graphical icon there of where in workbooks it's come from. As regards to this little yellow funnel here, that's come from the opportunity part of workbooks. And you can add extra columns here. So I could click on this add column button here and select from this extensive list of fields here in alphabetical order. There they all are, loads of them for you to play with. Maybe I want to insert gross margin. Save and close. That's been inserted on in my report. If I just refresh it actually, and just drag, it's probably over on the right hand side. There it is there. So I can now just move that over, just holding down my left hand mouse button now, wherever I want it. So that's how easy it is to insert new fields. There's also criteria as well. If, for example, you only wanted to show sales of a certain period, or sales above 75% probability, or sales of a certain type, that would be a criteria that you build into the report. Now what I want to lastly show you is adding a summary view. So there's in detail all of our sales row by row, but maybe it's difficult for us to see by salesperson what each person is bringing in. So I'm going to add in a summary view here, and I can then summarize it in a number of different ways. I'm going to actually summarize a particular column in my report. Well, what column do I want to summarize by? Well, it's going to be the value of the sales that are coming in. Again, there's lots of options there to select a column to summarize by. And how am I going to group that information? Well, it's going to be by the salesperson. Well, in workbooks, that's the assignee. That's the name of the person that this sale is assigned to. It's quite a common bit of terminology in workbooks. You assign things to people, records, companies, contacts, activities. They're all assigned to someone's name. Again, it's put in there the relevant titling and grouping direction. Save and close. Do a little preview here of this summary. And there we are quickly. We've now got summarized by salespersons. So Alison's bringing in 407, and obviously you can sort by this. But that was a quick overview there of me creating a report, a pre-populated report, a detailed report, and then creating a summary as well. We can now, if we're happy, we can now save and close it. It's available for us to use time and time again, for everyone else to use as well. So there's my report in my report section there. So this is how you run it. You just click on it to run it. And there you are. You can see the details in the summary. Or I could chart it. Another nice little feature here. So I could create a bar graph, line chart, pie chart, all the common things that you might want to do. So what's the title? Let's call it sales. And we will label the data by assigned name, create the chart. Very quickly, there's my little bar graph there of each of my salespeople with their relevant figures. So that's just a quick run through of reporting. It's not too daunting. It's really quite intuitive once you know the basics of a report. What area do you want to focus on? What columns do you want to see in that report? Do you need to drill down on any information? So if you're printing out a list of customers, do you want to print out only just customers of a certain type or customers belonging to a certain salesperson? And then summarizing. Very often we want to try, and where we see hundreds of records being printed out, we want to drill down and get some kind of summary to help us again make a decision on things. So there we are. What I'd like to do now is just summarize this with some pricing of workbooks and some of the services that we're able to offer before we dive into our Q&A session. So here's the two paid versions of Workbooks CRM Edition and Business Edition. Remember, Business does more. That's why it's priced higher. But you can also mix and match these two editions as well. So if you're 5 users, you could have 3 people on CRM and 2 people on Business, for example. But these CRM people can't create orders and invoices. We've got lots of add-on options. I suppose the most popular one is the Outlook integration that allows you to integrate your Outlook emails and allows you to share in a bi-directional way your tasks, your calendar, and your contacts. That's an extra £48 per user per year. And then lastly, be realistic. What help do you need in getting the system up and running? Do you need any training? Do you want us to do the whole thing for you, where we'll need to fully understand your requirements? We can give you a quotation for exactly what you need so that you have your CRM system up and running in the shortest time possible. Everyone knows how to use it, and if you get stuck, you've got some experts to call on, namely ourselves, with our friendly responsive help desk service here to assist you further. Okay, so it's that time of the session now for me to open out our presentation to any questions you've got. So first question from Sean: can you link workbooks to DocuSign? So DocuSign being an electronics form application. We've got Sean, we've got some integration with EchoSign, Echo or EchoSign, the Adobe product. So you can obviously create your quotes, your orders, your invoices that can be emailed to the client for electronic signature and approval, automatically coming back into your CRM system. So we have done that with EchoSign, so that shouldn't be too difficult to replicate that with DocuSign. So I'll contact you after the call with how we could do that, Sean. Next question from Ben: is gross margin in as standard? Yes, it is. It's a standard field in there. You should see it on any form or template display or available as a report. It's a standard field in workbooks. Next question from Abby: how do you get the font smaller? That's just the zoom level on your page. It's just a web page. Next question from Simon: I'm happy to sign for the CRM version once the trial period expired, but we need to be confident about the email Dropbox application. I use Mac. Ideally, I want the option for both the outgoing and incoming emails through workbooks. Simon, yes. Maybe if I get one of our help desk people to contact there, you to make sure everything's going to be hunky-dory with your email integration. Basically, Simon is saying about email Dropbox. Email Dropbox is an inclusive feature of workbooks, allowing you to integrate with any email system so that as you send and receive your emails, they're being copied automatically into the workbook system on that email tab that I showed you, say against the company's record. So that's what it does there. Next question from Mark: cost of training 10 people from scratch, currently using ACT. Well, as you can see, if you're active users of an older legacy system like ACT, you'll pretty much know how to use the CRM system to create your leads, create your activities, schedule your sales and your opportunities, and do a little bit of reporting. So people will be, I guess, familiar with what the CRM system is intended to do. And we could discuss with you a training program where probably if it's 10 people, they're not all the same job role. We like to do training by job roles. So let's get all the sales people together. Let's get all the finance and back office people together. Let's get all the managers together. So we could do separate sessions with you, Mark. Typically we would cut the 10 people down into respective groups, and we could do the training at your premises or our premises. Training can be from £125 per hour, but we'll contact you afterwards. You might need, typically, to cover the basics of workbooks, the day-to-day basics of workbooks. How do you manage your contacts? How do you manage your activities? How do you manage your opportunities? How do you send and receive emails? That might take anywhere from half a day to a full day to cover with people, going over a few exercises. And we do find that doing a few repetitive exercises kind of makes people remember in training. So it might be half a day to a full day there, Mark. Next question from Stefano. There's a lot of nice questions today. Within the marketing feature, are there any other tools apart from email campaigns? I'm referring to marketing automation tools in particular. Well, now that's a very good question, Stefano, because the system does allow you to it can be customized, so you can track virtually any type of marketing activity. It doesn't need to be an online marketing activity. It could be an event. For example, we do have people tracking events with workbooks. So whether that be an offline event, a physical event where people come to a site, a location, or an online event for doing that. It could be used for tracking activity at an exhibition. And also there is an automation capability within workbooks as well. So there's a little bit of workflow in there. With its scripting capability, you can get it to do things automatically. So if, as part of a sales process, you want workbooks to do something automatically to a customer after X number of days, so maybe we get a new lead, we get a new inquiry, and 2 weeks after you get the new inquiry, you want to automatically send them an email. If something hasn't happened, you want to automatically send them an email from the system, which workbooks can do. So we or you can set up these rules, the workflow in there to do that. So yes, Stefano, but we would need to understand a little bit more about exactly what marketing automation you want to do and what marketing activities or processes you want to track there. Maybe if I suggest we have a one-to-one session with you and your colleague Stefano, we can go over that marketing requirements there. Next question from Mark. What's the cost of ongoing support and what levels of support do you offer? We do offer, our standard offering, Mark, is a help desk and admin support service. So this is a flat fee of £450, and this gives you unlimited access to our telephone help desk here in Bristol. And also it includes, importantly, it includes a dozen 15-minute sessions. Now we often find with workbooks, nothing's going to go wrong. Nobody phones us up with a query, I've got this error message on my workbook screen, or workbooks doesn't do this, or workbooks has crashed, or I need workbooks installing. It's always, when people phone us, it's always, how do I do this in workbooks? Or what's the best way of doing that in workbooks? So what these 12 sessions are enabling you to do, Mark, is focus on, is allowing us to organize a one-to-one session with one of our trainers here, so we can actually walk you through these different things. And that's what that's for. So that's the admin support service, help desk service, and it's £450. You can top it up as you use these 12 sessions. You can just add on another slot, and it's a cheaper way of getting our little ad hoc support there, our one-to-one sessions where we can go through with you in more detail these little queries of how do I create this report, how do I import this data, how do I link to MailChimp, can someone give me some help on creating an email template? This is exactly what what that admin support service is for. That's our standard offering. But once we know your exact requirements, Mark, we can then give you a firm quotation for everything you need, including these support options as well. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions coming through, so thanks very much to the 5 of you there for some very interesting questions. It just remains for me to... Oh, another question from Mark. Can we import from ACT? Yes, we can, Mark. Depending on what version of ACT you've got, ACT has gone through several different versions and different file formats. We do have some ACT export utilities as well that allow you to export literally everything from ACT, including history and notes and lookup groups. And yes, we can import those into, in fact, we do cover this on one of our other presentations. There's a pretty much extensive import tool in Workbooks. So do you see down the left-hand side here, these are all of the parts of Workbooks that you can import into. Mostly with ACT, it's going to be people and organizations and their notes, but it may be you want to bring over your previous history, all the things that you've done with a customer that's in ACT, so we can import there. We'd first import the customers, and there's a second phase, you or us would import your task. But it's a two-step process. Step 1, get the data out of ACT. And as I said, with the different versions of ACT there, they've gone through, because ACT has had more owners than anyone else I care to remember, they've gone through lots of different file formats, and you may need to consider purchasing a low-cost utility to enable you to extract all of the data from ACT that we can do that for you, or we can tell you where you get this utility to assist you there. And certainly, really powerful import tool to get the data over into Workbooks. If any late questions come through, I'll answer those by email. I do need to end our presentation now. It's been really great having you on the call this morning, even though it's been a one-way audio from me to you. Thanks very much for your interest in Workbooks, your time this morning. Watch out for that recording. Let me know if you want to set yourself up on a trial, or you want a more detailed presentation, or maybe right now you know exactly what you want and you want a firm quotation. Let me know and we can give you the exact cost there and get you on board with the full version. Thanks very much for your time, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you.